Hi, Elizabeth.
Yep. Hi, Dom. I had to unmute myself. How you been?
Very good, thank you. How about yourself? Good.
Just fine, thanks. Keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's it. I was just reviewing the minutes. I noticed there's just a couple of typos, I think. The Cobb property instead of the Cop property.
I thought maybe it was a new place. You know me, I'm still trying to find Central Park.
Oh, gosh. Oh, well. I haven't really grasped how to do this yet because I have my laptop and then I have my iPad device. So I'm zooming through our iPad, but yet I'm looking at all of the notes on the laptop. So sometimes I'm scurrying about to see where,
Where did that go?
it's so much easier. It's so much easier in person.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, gosh. Well, hopefully pretty soon.
Yep.
After all, this warp speed is really putting us ahead of the game, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
First UK, now Canada. Hopefully.
Yep, we're right up there in the chart. I think the thing that blew my mind was the report that the U.S. passed on the extra doses that Pfizer was offering.
I was
And so
stunned.
the UK is ahead of us.
I know. I was just stunned with that, Oh, God.
Well.
It is what it is, right?
That's right.
So. Actually, I have been quite pleased with President-elect.
I have too.
It's so refreshing, just.
So someone who seems to act like a president is a good start. Not like a pitchman.
It's sad commentary that we say that,
Oh, I know.
And Mark, are you chopping wood over there? I lost you, Elizabeth.
Pardon me?
I lost you. I'm not seeing. Yeah. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I can.
Okay.
I can't see you, but I hear you.
Oh, that's
Let me put all the participant share screen. Participant.
Yep.
Oh, I can see you guys.
Yeah, and I can see you, Mark.
Okay.
Huh.
So I'm having problems with my computer. For some reason, the audio is not working. So I have my laptop and my phone here. So I'm calling in on my phone, but using the laptop.
Oh, golly.
I don't know what happened. I had the same issue on Monday night because I had a golf advisory board meeting, and I tested it last night and it worked fine. And I go to Zoom today and I get the same message. So not sure what's going on.
I had a problem during a Zoom meeting on Tuesday. It just, it would freeze and then bump me off. But it turned out Microsoft was doing a download, an update, and I think it interfered with it. That,
Well, that could be. I know we lost our internet. My wife works from home part-time, and she had internet issues and was getting ready to drive into work, but it came on sooner than what they had said it would, so that was a good thing.
oh, yeah. We're so
So
dependent
I
on,
did not hear from anybody that they would not be able to make the meeting, so I'm hoping that people will be joining us shortly.
I forgot, what's a quorum? 3?
Yes, we need one more. I don't count.
Right.
you're like the vice president, you can break the
Yeah,
tie.
I'm here, but I don't really, yeah.
Is anybody else hearing that noise?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
It just stopped.
Huh.
Yep, back.
Oh, yeah, I'm hearing that too. Oops. Oh,
It's so rhythmic. I just wonder what that is. It's like water torture.
Hmm. So did everyone have a nice Thanksgiving? Or did they even have Thanksgiving?
It was pretty singular.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have family local, so
Oh, yeah.
so we had a phone Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we did the same thing. My wife FaceTimed her mother while the parade was on,
Oh yes,
they were
the one block
talking
parade.
about floats and things like that.
Well, that was good.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like we've got one more person here. Wait a minute. Fran, okay.
Okay.
All right, there she is.
Yes.
Hi, Fran.
Hi, Fran.
I'm showing your microphones on mute.
Oops.
Okay, well, we do have a quorum now.
Okay. Fran, if you could hear me, I think your microphone is on, your audio is on mute.
Oh,
There you go.
I'm gonna
There
lose
you
the
go.
audio here and there because my husband lives in at the same time and we can't handle that bandwidth. So I called in, if you could unmute my phone so I can talk that way. That way, if I drop from my computer, I can keep going with the meeting.
Well, we
Okay, I
can
think
hear
I
you.
just did that. Fran,
can
is
hear
your
All
number
right, can you hear me?
271-3694?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think you're allowed to talk now.
All right, I'm gonna
Okay, let's call the meeting to order. It is 7:07. And we have a quorum. Fran, Elizabeth, Dom are here, and the other guy is here as well. And so I would I'd like to make a motion to, first of all, I think there's two things that need to be corrected in the minutes that were sent.
Okay.
Unless it changed its name, it's the COP property and
Yeah,
not the Cobb property.
oh, yeah. Okay,
And then one other thing is, at some point you said, at some point discussion centered around the playground, and it says CC, and I know it's not Claude Chester, so I think we want to add GCC.
Oh, yeah.
Tom, where is that?
That one would be 7A, third paragraph down.
Page 2.
Playground at. It's one sentence. Playground at CC ordered 6x6s and wood chips.
Okay,
And I think for the sake of consistency, in section 6A above, trucking, Fran asked a question about the cleaning the floor. I think that needs a G on there too, doesn't it?
oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
So was that the floor or the rug, Mark?
it was,
It was the mat, right?
yeah, it's the floor in the multi-purpose room. So it's a floor mat, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes as revised.
And second the motion?
Okey doke, let's move along. Were there any town council referrals?
No,
Okay, any citizens petitions and or comments?
no, it's been a quiet month.
Okay, correspondence
good.
and communications to the commissioners.
I don't know whether this belongs here, but I had a question about the survey that was sent out, the beginning of the month. That seemed very strange to me. It was the one, of the Parks and Rec with the Groton Economic Development, asking for feedback. It was sent out on December 4th, and you're supposed to click on a survey regarding what kinds of restaurants or retailers we want on our wish list. Was that a sanctioned communication?
Yeah, so we had agreed to, because we have, I think, the second largest database of residents, we partnered with the planning department to, they were trying to get that survey out in as many different places as they can, and we agreed to share our database with them because they've partnered with us on other projects. So that was a sanctioned. I did hear there was some issues with Mimecast, which is I guess it's kind of like a filter. Some people were not able to open up the survey because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if and when that got straightened out. But yes, to answer your question, it was a sanctioned survey.
I guess I would suggest going forward that whoever you're partnering with or whoever is the instigator of it needs to give just a little bit more background, because I read that and said, it looks legitimate, but I don't understand this question. And so I did
Oh,
not
gotcha.
respond to the survey.
Okay,
And I don't know.
all right, well, thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Any other correspondence or communications?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
So I live in the neighborhood in Deerfield Ridge, and people have noticed that the basketball court was repaved, and the question is, what stage is that at? Like, the repaving part, is that totally complete and we're just waiting for painting, or is there more resurfacing that's going to be done?
So that was actually the first item on my, when I get to the director's report, so that's I guess a good segue. So I went and looked at the basketball court, and I saw that seam between the two rows of paving, and I talked to the project manager about that, and he said that there was a problem with the machine and one of the heaters was not working correctly. So I talked to the Public Works Director, and next spring they are going to go back and do one of two things. They're either going to grind down a thin layer of the top surface and repave it so that we have a nice smooth surface to play on, or they may put down, I think he called it some emulsion or something like that, which is kind of like a tar substance, and then they would repave over that. So the seams, and there was a couple of other flaws on the surface that they are going to address. Now, the sidewalk is also torn up, and that's because they were going to be doing work in order to make the transition from the parking lot up to the sidewalk so that it would meet ADA guidelines. Public Works has decided to go back out to bid with a concrete contractor. And so that work is going to take place in the spring. So the work that you see right now, I believe they are done for the season, and they will go back in the spring. And we do have to wait a few days after they finish paving in order to put down the paint, because there's still oil. There's oil in the pavement, and that tends to rise shortly after it's been paved. So we have to wait for that to kind of dissipate before we can paint it. So it will be painted, repaved, and painted in the spring, and the sidewalk work will be finished, completed in the spring also.
Okay. The golf course, Mark? Or are you still moving
Well, actually,
ahead with?
I had one other thing, or a couple of other things for the director's report, just to give everybody an update on Tanglewood. The paving is done there. They were repaving the basketball court. That was completed, and it came out beautiful, and I've actually received a couple of compliments on that.
Whoa.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. The fence, I spoke with a representative from the RTM that lives in that neighborhood and explained to her that we would be putting shrubs in the spring. We're waiting because we're kind of past planting season, and inventory is not very good at any of the wholesale plant shops. So we're putting up a temporary fence I told her that so that she could let all the neighbors know, so that I wouldn't get petitions and phone calls and emails. And so we'll be putting shrubs up in the spring. But right now, there's a temporary wooden fence going up. Just if the kids decide they want to play, basketball, the last thing we want is a ball bouncing into the road and kids chasing after it. So with the fence up, that should help protect any type of potential accident. And I did want to share with you all that the senior center has they successfully had a scavenger hunt around Thanksgiving, and they've got some more scavenger hunts coming up in the next couple of months. And they also kicked off a holiday lights tour. So I think we had 16 families in the community that signed up, and people that want to take the tour get a map. And one of the sites, Fox News is or already has gone over and kind of filmed the house, and it was on Fox News, or it's going to be on Fox News. So we're getting a little bit of coverage from that particular event.
I was helping with lunches on Tuesday, and we had a lot of foot traffic, people coming wanting to find the map for the light show and the tour.
Yeah.
So the interest level is quite high. People wanting
Yeah.
to.
Well, I think people are looking for things to do that are, safe, and that's kind of a nice family event.
Yeah.
And I think that was it. Those were the only additions to the director's report.
Okay, moving right along, golf course.
So the golf course, we had another great month. The month of November, we brought in $75,000. As compared to last year, we brought in $31,000. So we had
Wow.
another terrific month. And weekends now that are nice weather-wise, we're running shotguns, and shotguns are sold out. And so things continue to go well at the golf course. And we just, yesterday, we're pushing gift certificates for the golf course. So people can buy a round of golf for someone that they know that plays. And that hopefully will go well. I know it went out yesterday afternoon to I think we have like 4,600 people on our mailing list, golfers that are on the mailing list. And as soon as it went out, we already got our first phone call. So hopefully we'll sell a few gift certificates.
Great.
Okay,
And
trails.
I also, what I was going to say, I also included a revenue and expenses report for the golf course, and that, while it's a year-to-date report, it actually, the revenue lags about a month behind because finance waits until they've received confirmation from the bank through the monthly bank statement that all the deposits are accounted for, and then that revenue gets applied to the golf course. So if you look, it looks like we've spent over $600,000 and only brought in $400,000, but in fact that's incorrect, and we're still running ahead of our revenue is still running ahead of expenses.
Mark, how long into the winter do people play?
They will play all winter long if there's no snow on the ground. We find we get a lot. We get players that come down from Massachusetts, from New Hampshire, and from Vermont, because we're one of the only golf courses that stay open all year long. Even the golf courses around here, most of them will close. But because of our proximity to the shoreline, the temperature is a little bit more moderate, and if we don't have snow on the ground, people are out playing.
Thanks.
The only other one I know that's open, Mark, would be Black Hall, and that's private.
Oh, okay. And where is that? Where's Black Hall?
Old Line.
Oh, okay.
Is that it for golf course?
That is it for the golf course, yes.
Trails Coordinating Task Force.
So we have our meeting tomorrow, but since the last time we've met, I have walked the King Kolnaski Conservation Area, which is out behind Kolnaski School on Pequannock Road. That parcel was part of an agreement with the state when the space at the top of Fort Hill Road became the middle school, and that had been designated as open space. The town had to come up with a couple of other open space locations. So the King Kolnaski Conservation Area is one, and there's a group of volunteers in town that have laid out a trail or marked the trail, and the park staff this winter is going to be clearing the brush, and then the volunteers will go in and blaze the trail, and we will be adding that to our list of potential hike or places to hike in Groton. And they're actually, when the trail is done, it will be a complete mile. It will be a mile, and it will loop right around Kathleen and Kolnaski School. Half of it has already been done by, there's a teacher at the Kolnaski School who is a huge supporter of getting kids outdoors, and I believe they've been working on a trail for a number of years. And I think he even has a kind of like a nature adventures club that goes outside frequently. So we're going to be adding to the trail, and there's some kind of unique features along this trail. It kind of runs between a rock outcropping on one side and a stream with some small waterfalls, and there's some really large boulders that the trail goes around. And so it is kind of interesting, and the park staff is going to be cleaning that up this winter.
Nice. Right out near the parking lot, there's a little loop trail that we had there. Right in the front, Mark.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to actually be using that as a way for some of our equipment to get in there, because they want to. There's a trail that goes up past the paved parking lot and this big flat spot there, and they've asked if we could clear that and take out some of the larger invasive species there. So I think I know where you're talking about, because we were out there the other day just trying to figure out how we're going to be able to get the equipment in.
All right. Well, all right. Sounds good. All right. Athletic fields.
So mark your calendars. January 5th, the Athletic Field Task Force is going to be making a presentation to the town council.
Mark, was that January 5?
Yes, the 5th.
Thank you.
Yep. And you would be able to, if you go to the town website and go to meetings, you can kind of find your way to clicking on and zooming into the meeting.
Is that just a presentation, Mark? So it's
It
a
is, yeah.
presentation, there's no input from citizens?
No, they've already had their public meeting a month or so ago, and whatever feedback they got from that meeting, I think they're going to be, will incorporate that into the presentation to the council. But it's pretty much going to be a report of the study of the, the findings and what they're proposing for solutions to address the field shortage.
Okay. I'm afraid to ask about the next topic.
Well,
Agency accreditation.
Because it's the holiday season, I decided to give you all a gift early and not have any documents to review. So
What a prince.
I know that sounds kind of Scrooge-like, not giving you something was a gift. But anyway, the staff is working very hard to finish up all of the different standards. It seems like every day I get an email, Mark, can you look at this? Mark, can you look at that? And so that's what I've been spending most of my time on. And there will be, I'm only giving you a break for a month because in January,
I've been warned.
in January, they'll be coming in fast and furious.
Okay.
But it's been I can't tell you the number of times that as we've gone through this, people have said, oh, this is great that we're doing this, and we're learning so much, and it's just been a real eye-opening experience. And I think when we're all said and done, hopefully the department is going to run better than it does right now.
Good. Well, you certainly get a good look at yourself when going through that. That's for sure.
Oh,
yes.
absolutely. Yeah, you recognize.
You recognize the good things that you're doing as well, so.
Right, and the things that you should be doing better, so.
Right, yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Well, that's good. Okay, Pratt Recreation Building.
Right now, the staff is working on it's called O&M, the operations and maintenance of the building. So essentially what they're doing is the consultant gave us a spreadsheet with multiple pages that we have to go and plug in information into. For example, we need to come up with a proposed schedule of operation. So we're going to open it up at 7 in the morning or 6 in the morning for lap swimming, and what are the costs associated with that? So okay, we're going to have somebody in the building, we're going to have a lifeguard, and so we're going through almost like hour by hour coming up with a proposed schedule of programs and looking at all the associated costs with that. And so that is, and then we've got to figure, okay, what are we going to charge for, open gym, or what are we going to charge for pickleball, and, all of those different types of things. So the staff has been working on that for the last couple of weeks. And once that's complete, that will get shipped off to Greenplay, who has done this type of work dozens and dozens of times, and they'll look at it and refine some of our numbers and say, yeah, this probably isn't a good number, and you might want to think about this. So eventually we'll come up with an estimated operating expense and an estimated revenue amount. So that's part of the work that's going on. The other part is the Prairie, who is the architect. They're working on calculating the construction costs, and they are about 2 weeks into that. So we're expecting preliminary numbers from them probably in another week or so. And Greenplay and Prairie are going to be giving a presentation to the council on the 5th of January. So that, if the athletic fields task force didn't draw you in, hopefully the Pratt Recreation Building will draw you into the meeting.
So in terms of monetary funds, when you're talking about construction, that's the contract, that's the developer, not the town, correct?
That is correct, yes. The contractor said that they wanted to construct the building
Okay,
and remodel the building and turn it over to the town to operate. Now, it's not as simple as them just writing a check, because part of the funding for this project is coming through a TIF, which is a tax increment financing. I'm not sure what the last F is for.
mhm.
But anyways, there's going to be kind of a funding mechanism that the town is going to partner with the developer so that the money will be there in order to do all the work that he needs to do, not just with the Pratt building, but all of the other infrastructure that that's going to be part of that project.
I see.
I have one question, Mark. In order to do the work on the operation and maintenance budget, you kind of narrowed down what the programs are you want to start off with on that site? Because there were a lot of ideas.
Yeah, so what we're
thrown
looking
around.
at is the programs that we're doing now. We're taking that, at the community center, we're taking that information and moving some of that over to the Pratt building, and, the numbers and the programs that we're doing at the not Connecticut College, but at Avery Point. Yeah, so we're taking, taking that information from over there and applying that in to, the programming at the Pratt building. And then, we'll also have a chance to, expand on the programming that's taking place at the Pratt building, because it's a larger building and it just offers us more opportunities. So that process of operations and maintenance is a big undertaking. There was multiple pages to that spreadsheet that needed to be filled out.
I was saying that because I remember during the discussion this past summer, there were discussion things like rock wall climbing and innovative programs that don't exist today.
Right.
So that I assume you're allowing for the future growth and use of the facility for those kinds of innovative programs when you're putting this together.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And we've tried to set aside a fair amount of what we call flex space, so that, we can offer a variety of programs in the same space. So in other words, rather than having, a dedicated activity in a particular space, we're trying to utilize as much flex space as we can, so that, in the morning, we might be able, to do a yoga class, and then in the afternoon, in that same space, we could do karate or something else. So trying not to have too much dedicated space, but yes, we certainly will be looking at all opportunities. And at this January 5th meeting, the conceptual plan for the building will be shown, and they'll be going through kind of what the whole process from where we started way back with the focus groups, and then did the survey information, and how we got to where we are now with the design, with the proposed design of the building.
Exciting.
So Mark, I think I sent you a couple questions there regarding it. Will they have outside tennis courts?
So the work that's being done in the Pratt building is inside the building.
Okay.
I am not aware that the plans are still in flux for the developer. You know,
Okay.
as things change, and maybe as the market changes, you know, they're pulling out single-family homes and putting in something else. So I have not seen a final copy of the plans, and I don't think a final plan exists. I don't recall seeing tennis courts as part of this particular development.
Okay.
But like I said, that could change.
Mark, can you hear me?
Yes,
All right. What's the name of the company that's reviewing the O&M plans? Is it Greenplay, Replay?
Greenplay, yes, Greenplay.
Okay, all one word?
Yes.
Thank you.
And then the architect is Piri, which is Pirie.
Pirie?
Yes.
Is that it with the Pratt building?
It is, yes.
Okay, do we have any unfinished business?
Well, there was one item that was brought to my attention. I'm pretty sure at the last commission meeting in the packet was I included a copy of the trends report, and we didn't discuss it, but I included it in there because the previous meeting, there were some suggested improvements. And so I included that in the packet just to show everybody that the trends report had been updated with the identified corrections. So I don't know if the folks remember seeing that, and were there any issues or concerns with that?
I didn't pick up on anything.
Okay,
No, neither did I.
okay.
Okay, any new business?
All right, so the only new business we have is there are two people on the Golf Advisory Board. Their terms were up, and I contacted them to see if they were interested in renewing their appointments, and they were, and I was thankful for that. So the two women are Margaret Hirsch, and that's Hirsh, and Cindy Lathrop, Lathrop. So we do have to, the commission does have to approve their reappointment, and it's my recommendation that these two be reappointed to the Golf Advisory Board.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the nominations and appoint both people that Mark mentioned to reappointment for the Golf Advisory Board.
I second the motion.
All right.
Okay, moving right along. It appears that our next meeting is January 16th.
Well, actually, it should be January 13th. The 16th is a Saturday.
Ooh,
Oh,
good pickup, Elizabeth.
okay.
What is it?
Sorry about
January
that.
what?
13th.
Mark, I want to bring this up because it was a question. Do we know anything about the next sessions for the programs with COVID, or are we still waiting to hear what the situation is?
We are in fall 2 right now. I do not expect that we will be going back to in-person sessions until sometime this spring. So I would fully expect that the winter session, which will probably start sometime in mid-January, will be fully remote, and that will continue into sometime this spring. But I can't give you a definitive date on when that transition would happen. But if we were getting to the point where it looked like that was going to happen, hopefully we would know far enough in advance that we could let people know that as they're signing up for the next session, that in-person option would be considered. So we would give people an opportunity to, we'd let them know ahead of time that in-person classes might resume during that particular session. And for some folks, that may be a non-starter for them, and they would opt out until, they felt comfortable when 100 million people, or whatever the number is, have been inoculated. And
Okay, thank you.
so I have a feeling it's going to be 3 to 4 months or even longer before we're back to in-person programs.
All right, thanks.
All right, so we know when the next meeting is. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Thank you all, and we'll see you on the 13th.
All right.
Great
Thank you all.
Have a
And
great holiday.
happy holidays. Yes. Thank you.
Happy holidays, everybody. True.
Bye-bye.